Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new episode of Rogue Dehydrated. It's been a little while since I posted an episode, but I haven't had much time to do DB grinding as of late, and hopefully I can get back to it soon. I've just been playing so much Elden Ring, and it's been such a blast. I've actually been uploading my playthrough on my second channel, The Dead of Winter, which you guys can find under the Channels tab on this channel. But I appreciate everybody's been patient. Waiting for new episodes, and today I actually have locals, and I figured, I don't really have a video plan for today. Why not get a episode of Rogue Dehydrated out to you guys? So this match here ended up being not the prettiest match for me. This is a match. This is a learning experience. So we have me on the bottom here, obviously, with 329 rating, and I can't remember what our rating was the last time we left off, and versus Noah, exclamation point, with the 723 rating. So yeah, it was pretty high rated for as early as this match happened, I think, like a week ago. So he's pretty high rated, I would say, for being that early on, I guess. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we do lose the rock, paper, scissors, and my opponent is going to make me go second, and as you can see, I'll pause here in a second. Oh yeah, it is paused already. So, as you can see, he's got 60 cards to our 40. He opened up Shaddoll Fusion, Super Poly, Squamata, Punishment, and Enchantress of the Temple. So it is kind of like a 60-card Shaddoll pile, whatever people call it. 60-card Shaddoll, Adventurer. And then in my hand, we have Tekatomborg Dice, Imperm, Ash, and Hound. So this hand will definitely work. We have two going second cards. The hand trap lineup in this deck has been something I've been thinking about altering. I think currently the hand trap lineup is 2 Ash, 3 Valor, 1 Nib, playing Called By alongside the 3 Imperm, and then 2 Goes and Match. Those are like all the non-engine defensive cards that I'm running. I've been thinking about adding in Triple Tactics talents to kind of help go against already established boards. And they're also kind of a little bit more higher impact, I guess. The only other card I think I could possibly play that'd be more high impact in the main are things like maybe Droll and Lancia. Although, like, I don't know, I've never been really a huge fan of maining cards like that. Because, yes, they are high impact against a lot of decks, but against a lot of other things, they aren't as good as Ash, Imperm, Valor, Nib, etc. So, I don't know. I mean, I am siding Droll, I am siding Gamma. I kind of like the idea of Droll on the side. And one other thing that I thought about doing was like cutting 1 Valor or maybe 1 Ash, or maybe 1 Goes and Match for 1 copy of Ghost Mourner, just to add in another wind body to the deck. But then again, it would only ever be a normal summon. But it is a level 3 tuner, which is kind of cool, and it's a win. But either way, I just want to get those thoughts out on the table. And we're going to hop right into this. My opponent is going to go first here. He is going to lead with the normal summon of the Enchantress and go ahead and link that into the Maiden. He activates Enchantress. I decide to Ash just because, like, I mean, I really have no idea what he's playing at this point. All I can assume it's some form of Brave deck. And then he has the Shaddoll Fusion, which would have been a good Ash target, but again, I had no idea he was going to be playing Shaddoll because that would have got him access to the whole Wandering Griffin Rider. Then he's going to fuse for the Construct, and then he's going to go ahead and activate Construct alongside the Squamata, and he'll be able to dump Wendy and Reincarnation. And then he's going to go ahead and activate the Wendy. Wendy's going to spec 1 from deck. I think he goes for the Aerial here, but this is a very familiar combo I've seen in the past. I actually really like this combo a lot. He's going to link the Construct into Gravity Controller. That's going to give him back his Shaddoll Fusion. And then he's going to activate the Resh Shaddoll Incarnation, banishing it in Construct, flipping up the Aerial, specking back the Construct, and that will trigger Construct again because it's just whenever it's special summoned. Pretty crazy card, right? I know that 2015, 2014 card design was kind of bonkers. And then we're going to see him link into the Anaconda. So at this point, I'm really glad I held the Imperm. Because Imperming the Aerial was kind of tempting because I could kind of see where he was going with that. But, like, he already has Schism Engrave, which he got off the Squamata anyways, so, like, there was no getting around that. The Schism ends up being, like, the nail in the coffin here. He gets the Schism back, activates Anaconda. I have to Imperm that. I can't let him get access to DPE. Then he sets 2, 3, and pass this turn. We draw Goes and Match as the 6th card here. I mean, Goes and Match is a card that, like, I do like the idea of in Speedroid, especially in the main deck, because it just gives the deck something unfair. Some decks really struggle to play through Goes and Match, especially a lot of decks that are splashing the Brave Engine. The token is an Earth, and if they don't have the right, the right cards in their main or extra deck, they really can't out it. I think the only way they can out it consistently is if they play Link Spider, which I think most builds are on, because they have that the equip spell, which is just so good. But usually, like, I'll have a negate up anyways. Like, if I can end on Baron Crystal Wing or Baron Shen Shen, plus Goes and Match, right? I usually don't have to worry about them outing it with the Draco back. Like, and then the Draco back gets negated, because that's the only way they have to out the Gozen, and then they're stuck with Earth monsters, and most decks aren't doing anything with Earth. It's usually a lot of dark stuff, or just different attributes in general. And seeing it as the 6th card here is unfortunate, of course, but 2 hand traps, as you can see, wasn't enough. And the only thing I had to be able to really stop was the Schism, and that's going to be the nail in the coffin here. And I go standby phase, main phase 1, and I'm like, I could show them what I'm playing, but I don't want to, so I'd rather go in blind to the next game here. So, because I know I'm not going to be able to beat a Schism with that hand. There's just no way it's happening, and the Gozen's completely useless. So we're going to go to game 2. We're going to open up Rubber Band, playing Judgment, Gozen, Wheel, and Tekatomborg. Gozen Match being very loyal to our opponent's Fusion Destiny, Enchantress, Hedgehog, Torrential, and Ecclesia, opening up the Enchantress 2 games in a row in 60 cards. Must be nice. 60 cards, by the way. So I'm going to start with the normal summon Tekatomborg. Like, I had a few options here. Like, I could have led with Wheel first, and then, like, pitched one of the traps, like, pitched the Gozen or the Judgment, but I feel like that's a little too greedy, and if that gets Ash, that's kind of a big punish. So I went with the safer play here, which is to normal summon the Tekatomborg, activate its effect. If that gets ashed, then I have to follow up with the Wheel and use the plane to keep going. Because even if I roll a 1 with the combination of the plane, I'm still fine. We do take a bit of a loss, but, we do keep playing, essentially, which is all that matters. And we do have the potential to break even. So we're going to summon out the Duke to get that extender out of the deck and into the grave very early. This is going to trigger Rubber Band plane here. I could have, like, maybe summoned something else, but I don't know. Because, like, as you can see, this is one of those things, like, I still feel like I don't really master with the deck yet. I already have access to Duke, and I have Wheel in hand. So me watching this right now says I probably should banish a 7 and reveal Duke and Piper. But I think part of me, in the point of playing this out, was kind of thinking, like, what do I really need a second Duke in the grave for? I could just go for the Marble Machine or the Terror Top, and I think a lot of people maybe would want to lean towards that just because they're cards that get you more cards that get you into better boards. But I feel like banishing a 7 here, getting the extra Duke and Grave as follow-up, and then also getting Piper out of the deck is pretty important. And then if I roll a 1, right, I can just go to Auroradon, and, Duke out the Piper, Excavate 4, make a Baron, and really try to find more side deck cards. And I think, like, I kind of tunnel visioned on the fact that, like, I already have Duke and Grave. I don't need to go for that play. So I end up going for something different here. I go for the Chambara. And also, I know some people had some comments about this, like, in some of the videos, it seemed like I was trying to, like, guess what I was going to do next, and I apologize for that. It wasn't really intentional. Just some of the matches took place so far between them that it actually played out when I was recording over them. So I was a little rusty, but I did watch this one over a couple times before recording, just so I could have a better idea of what was going on beforehand. But I mean, some things, like, I still might, like, if I still go, like, oh, did I really want to do that? Like, if I've surprised myself, that's probably going to happen from time to time. Because I might be thinking, with the cards I have available, like, me right now would do this, but then me in the past is this, and it kind of creates this conflict, I guess. I don't know. But you can see I banished the 5 here. We get the Marble Machine. We're going to addition normal with the Marble Machine, and I believe the Marble Machine is going to add me Tekatomborg here, because, like, there's really nothing else better to add. I could have gone for Card Turbo, but is there a reason to go for Card Turbo here? I mean, I guess the only reason is to get access to Piper. I guess. So yeah, we're going to tag out into the Piper. Piper will excavate 2. I don't think I find too much off of this. My opponent tells me, you know, he'll just stop me if he needs to. We reveal Rider and a Gozen match. And we take the Rider here just because it's a discard. A win discard, I guess. Like, taking the Gozen. Like, I didn't want to, like, take the Gozen and then discard the Gozen because my opponent might think, like, he definitely has another Gozen at that point. So I just wanted to, like, let the Gozen go. And then my opponent says, like, wow, Brave Token Engine is Speedroid. Cool. Well, literally does he know, like, I'm not using this as in the way he's using it. I can't use it like that. I have normal summoned monsters and they activate their effects. I don't know how he didn't realize that, but it's kind of funny. So we go ahead and activate Wheel, and we discard the Griffin, and I roll a 2. So, like, this is why I should have gone for the Banish a 7, because now at this point, when I've already committed to not doing that play, the Wheel, I feel like, gets a little less value, solely because now what I roll, like, really makes a difference. And the fact that I roll a 2 is very awkward because I don't have anything to do with it. At this point, with the way I committed to the play, I really need to roll a 3, a 4 and above, right, to actually make the Wheel here impactful. Whereas if I would have done it earlier on by banishing a 7, you know, I could have made good use of the Wheel by getting, you know, a double Foolish Burial essentially, and whatever bodies I get help me go into a Rorodon. But since I've committed to this additional normal 7 play, Rorodon's no longer an option. I was really dependent on, like, give me a good roll here, and 2 was just not a good roll. Yeah, and you can see I actually rolled twice because it was, wait a second. Did my opponent roll? My opponent rolled a 2. And then I rolled a 5. He's not supposed to roll for me. I roll. It's discard a card, roll a 6-sided die. Doesn't say your opponent rolls a 6-sided die. How did I not see that? Oh my god. I mean, a 5 here would have been pretty damn good. I would have summoned out a card turbo. We would have made a Goita. And then we could Duke out Car, make Crystal Wing, and then bring this out and make bring the Goita back out and make Shen Shen. Wow. How did I miss that? How did I miss that? It at least says Noah's die landed on 2. How did I miss that? Hey, you live and you learn, I guess. I literally watched this replay over like 2 or 3 times. I did not notice that. I thought I just clicked the roll dice thing twice on accident because DB was lagging. So I was like, oh, the first roll was a 2. I'll just summon the 2. Wow. And then I draw another Marble Machine. I was like, great. Marble Machine is being so loyal to me right now. So, but like, so, you know, rolling a 5 there would have been really good. That would have been kind of what I would have needed. But again, you're banking on a lot to happen. Rolling a 1 there is not going to help you really. Rolling a 2 there is certainly not going to help because you can see the Marble Machine really didn't add anything to the board that it already didn't have. Rolling a 3 would have gave me a Cork Shooter, which would have gave me a duplicate. That wouldn't have been terrible. Rolling a 4 would have gave me access to Hagoita, and then 5 would have been a Hagoita on its own, and then 6 is just its own thing. So yeah, like, I still think if I have Wheel and I have a Rubber Shootout and I haven't exhausted my additional normal yet, I should banish the 7, get Duke and Piper, roll, see what I get, go from there. I feel like that is a little bit more prone to Nibiru, but like, it is what it is. Like, you have to kind of take that route. I feel like to be more optimal, because in my head I'm always like, oh, that's gonna play into Nibiru a lot more, but sometimes it just comes down, if they have it, right? And then if you have recovery plays, you have recovery plays. In our case, we'd have things like Ghost and Match Judgment. It is what it is. I still can't believe that happened. And then we're going to Duke back out the Piper here, and we're going to make Baron. And then we're going to set 2, and then I Baron blow up the Marble Machine here. What I should have done, well, yeah, I was going to say I should have blown up the Rubber Band Shooter to dodge Shaddoll Fusion, but I still have an extra deck monster on board. So either way, it doesn't matter. We're going to pass turn here. He asked if I added Gozen match. I told him no, I added Rider. He starts with the Fusion Destiny. Yeah, I don't let that go through. There's really no reason to let that go through. He's going to activate Water Enchantress, and right here, I'm thinking, like, if I should have activated Gozen now. But I don't think it matters, and you'll kind of see why here. So he's going to go ahead and activate Rite of Aramesia, which I could have Judgmented. I think Judgmenting this would have been also kind of nice. I do activate Gozen in response. He gets the Fateful Adventure here. And Fateful Adventure will activate to go ahead and get him another Enchantress. And this is the part that scares me here. He's going to discard Hedgehog, add Squamata, and then, yeah, he goes for Link Spider. And then this is going to allow him to get Draco back. The Draco back, the rideable backpack, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, where is it on here? If a monster or monsters is normal or special summon, you can take one equip spell that mentions adventure token from your deck and either add it to your hand or equip it to one adventurer token. Okay, so I see the problem here. Yeah, he needs to... So the way I was thinking about it is, like, it seemed a lot easier to out Gozen with this engine than I had originally thought. Because he needs to equip it to an adventurer token. Yeah, right. Once from the first time a monster control equipped with an equip spell would be destroyed by battle. It's not destroyed. Yeah, so this is just chilling in his hand now. What does this say? Starts in the graveyard. You can target one adventure token you control, equip this to that target. So he had to make the Link Spider to search this in the first place. And then I don't think he can do much else outside of Crash. Yeah, so he's going to go ahead and Crash here. He kind of pseudo-outs the Gozen. He's going to be able to go into Ecclesia, activate Ecclesia effect here. And then he's going to go ahead and search out a copy of Punishment, which is pretty strong. Sets Torrential, sets Punishment, and basically passes turn there. Because the way I thought it was going to work is, like, he could activate Right, you chain Gozen, get Fateful, link the token into Gozen, or into Gozen, link the token into Link Spider, then search the backpack, equip the backpack, bounce, but it has to be to a token. So they have to, like, already have Fateful Adventure and then play Right, I think, in order to out this, because they would get the token would proc Fateful, giving them the equip, and then bouncing it back. Okay, so again, you learn something new every day. So he's going to go ahead and pass on that. We draw Wheel for turn, and then standby phase, we're going to activate Baron here, and go ahead and summon out Terratop. Terratop effect is going to activate here to go ahead and search. What do I go ahead and grab here? We go and grab the Tekatomborg. I mean, that makes the most sense here at this point. Grabbing Tekatomborg with Marble Machine already in hand is pretty strong. I could have maybe got a Duke because I have Wheel. That would have also been a good fallback play here too, because I also have one Rubber Band Shooter left in the extra deck at this point. At least I think I do. I really hope this is still the point where I was playing 2 Rubber Band Shooter, because I did for a time play on ladder with only 1, and I regretted it instantly. And I don't know if I think I went over that on stream. Link to my Twitch below, and you'll see why playing 1 Rubber Band Shooter is pretty much never the move. So at this point, this is where I kind of struggle a little bit as a player, because, like, I'm in 3 back row here. I kind of feel like I'm in the driver's seat, but, you know, I have to tread carefully here. I know he has Enchantress. I think that's the only thing that I know. And I know he has the Squamata. So Squamata and Enchantress are the only cards that are known, and the Punishment, right? And the Draco back. So I know 4 cards out of his, you know, total cards here. I have the Judgment. I'm like, okay, Judgment can stop Punishment, which will allow me to keep playing. So we're going to normal the Marble Machine here. And one thing I think I could have done here, and maybe this was the play looking back, maybe the play was to actually just spec Tekatomborg, make this a level 2, go for a Cork Shooter play, and then Cork Shooter revives the materials. And then from there, I could possibly go for Hagoita. And then Hagoita and Cork Shooter could go for either a Kite Drake to wipe the whole field. And he would have to Torrential beforehand, which I probably would let that go through. Just because, like, I still haven't normal summon yet, and I still have a Wheel in hand. So, like, maybe the play is just to let that go. I usually kind of shy away from, like, Terratop Tekatomborg plays, but I feel like with as little as I need to invest here, maybe that is the play going into 3 back row, because I can hold my normal summon, I can hold the wheel. And you can see I search Duke here, and then what do I go for? I go for Rubber Band Shooter, and my opponent goes ahead and activates Punishment here, and then I decide that I would Judgment this. I really don't... Well, I can see why I Judgmented this, because I'm like, okay, if he sends Entis, he's going to pop Rubber Band Shooter and also get rid of the Gozen, which lets him play, which is kind of scary. So I can see why I went ahead and Judgmented that. And then I go ahead and activate the effect here. We banish the 6, and we reel Hound and Card Turbo. We get the Hound here, and already exhausted my normal here, so we have to additional normal or go for Auroradon. And I'm not sure what I'm going for here. We go for the additional normal. Again, like, because going for the Auroradon route is like a little, it just seems so risky here. Just because there's still 2 set back, or the one I know is Draco back, or it's something else. Also, this is this right here, this play also is kind of like a little bit puzzling to me watching back. I dump Gate, and then I use Gate immediately, and resummon it, and then I wheel. So what I should have done here was spec the Tekatomborg and go for Dice and do that play line, and then hold the wheel still. I think that's the most resource efficient way of going about it, because I get to hold the duplicate engrave, and I get to hold the wheel plus pitching Duke. So yeah, I think that was the right way of going about it. And then I unfortunately roll a 1 here, which is whatever. And then he torrentials. Like, we would have had a okay play there. But the way I set that all up, like, everything just became so awkward. And the fact that I just don't have Hagoita live at this point is a bit of a mistake on my end, I feel, as well, because I still have Tekatomborg in hand. I still have Duke Engrave I haven't used yet. A lot of plays that I just have not utilized. And then I just passed turn there, and because I wasn't expecting a Torrential Tribute whatsoever. Opponent leads with the Enchantress, and then this is where the Gozen is going to get outed. And then he's going to bounce the Gozen back and activate Fateful, grab the Griffin Rider, and at this point it's pretty much just game over. Pitches the Wendy off of that, and then gets a Beast, activates Griffin, summons the Griffin, and goes battle phase. Yeah, that's just game right there. So yeah, you can see how I kind of played that out very poorly. I think there was more resource efficient ways to play that out. I definitely got greedy, and it was punished by the back row that he had, and thus resulting in us taking the L. I still feel as though judgment on that punishment was correct, because I think that also protects the Gozen, because I know he's definitely going to send Entis. And if not Entis, Apgalone, which just sets him up with Schism, which is auto win button. And yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to say. That was just a very poorly played game on my behalf, and I think I could have done things, again, much more resource efficiently by just going for the simple Dice play with any level 3 body, and just go for the Corkscrew play, really threaten him. That would have forced the Torrential, and then, we still have normal summon plus wheel, right? Or, wheel with Tekatomborg, whatever it may be. So yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. If you guys want to see more of my content, click on one of the videos popping up on the bottom of the screen right now. And as always, WinnerKill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one. And like always, a huge shout out goes to our Divine level channel members, and they are Tweeters0226, Ponystart, Cadillacs84, Keith Sidgers, and Black Ninja Money. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your extremely kind and generous support of the channel.